Alright, so I've been hitting the ball pretty well, except kind of for my driver, which I tend to sort of, well, let me start with that. So, what I'm going to work on today is trying to get my driver more synced up, which I think a lot of people are going to have this problem, obviously. So, I think the first thing you want to work on is discovering what is it that you're doing. If your driver is going awry, if you're hitting pull hooks or big slices or whatever it is, try to sense in your body what the thing is you're doing that's throwing things off. So that's a way to start. First of all, if you become aware, then you can say, you're out on the course, oh, I know what that one is. This is the thing to do that is not doing that. So counteracts the thing, sort of doing the opposite. Too fast, go slow, whatever it is. So change your path. So here's what I'm going to work on. So I'm going to do a slow motion version of my driver, and I'm simulating this because I've worked on this a little bit already. But what I want to do is get to the top and fire my hips too soon. And so I want to get my hips a little ahead and then try to catch up. And what happens when I do that is cut across the ball a little bit, hitting it to the right, and it's got a fade, and doesn't go nearly as far as it would ideally. So there's my flaw. So I know what that is. So that's one thing to be aware of. But what I'm going to do now is just build my driver up from 0. So instead of applying a fix to the flaw, I'm going to find a better sequence. So rather than do all these things that are ingrained and then try to fix a little flaw right here, that's hard to do. What's easier to do actually is just think this is a different driver swing. So I'm going to build my swing from 0, and I'm going to use something I read. I don't remember the inner golf. Something about inner golf. Tim Galway is the author, but he does this humming exercise. So I'm going to work on that. So the humming exercise is I'm going to be humming while I swing, and I will sense any abrupt moment of tension in my swing because I will constrict my voice and I'll hear it. So I'm going to do it first with my trainer and see if I can get a nice, smooth, consistent tone to my hum. So, okay, that sounds pretty good. Feels nice and consistent. It may not be that fast for you, so keep working on, if you're working on this exercise, keep working on it till you can maintain a nice consistent sound, and then switch over to your club and do the same thing. So I'm just going to hit a pitching wedge. So even though I'm working ultimately on a driver, I think any kind of swing motion that you want to learn, start small, start with shorter, heavier clubs. It's just much easier to create a new motion that's small with a shorter, heavier club, and then bring that motion up through your clubs rather than trying to go straight at a driver, and especially at full speed. That's pretty much useless to try to do that, I think. So I'm going to try a nice small one here now. So I've already done this before, so I'll simulate what happens when I do it if I hadn't been working on it. So I would go. So when I got to the ball, I'm going to want to add this little tightening of my body, and I want to take that out. And it's not that there is no differentiation in how much force you're applying in the swing, but this is an exercise to make your acceleration curves, if that makes sense. Your acceleration curves, how quickly things speed up, as smooth as possible. So it's not that you want to move slowly, it's that you want to move smoothly. And that will keep you in balance, keep you on plane, all those kinds of things. So I'm going to see if I can get one here. Really smooth, no, really even tone here. And that was pretty good. Really no addition of tension in the swing there. So we'll try another one. Try to go a little bit bigger this time. Nice, I like that. Very smooth. And just keep with this and keep working at it and bring it up to not necessarily 100%, but whatever your playing speed would be, maybe 80% effort. Wherever you can keep it, you'll find there's a moment where you can no longer keep that tone consistent, and that's where you want to say, well, that's the level to play at. As high as I can get, and still keep that tone consistent. So let's try another one. Pretty good. So I involved my lower body a little more in that one. And that's pretty close, a nice, very smooth pitching wedge, 120. I can definitely play that. I'm going to go back to my trainer. So I'm working both on smooth acceleration, but also how am I using my body. So nice. Feel that move in transition where I sit and then turn, sit and turn. So nice and smooth still. Like that one, pretty good. So there's close to 120, 119. So you can see the effect of this. Keeping all those acceleration curves really straightens out your ball flight. So what throws off your ball flight is using your arms against your body, moving abruptly and throwing yourself off plane, being out of balance. So work on that. That's what I'm doing. And now I'm going to work toward the driver. And again, I'm going to keep working. So my goal is to my ultimate goal is to maintain even tone. That's my goal. Well, I'm going to see what happens with the driver. But my goal, my objective here is to be essentially smooth and hear and pay attention to what's happening in my body by humming. So I'll do another one here. So nice and smooth. I like that one a lot, actually. So not going for some giant drive. As you can see, it's still a very smooth 230. Very little effort, very smooth. And for somebody my size of age, that's a workable drive. So try again. So nice and smooth here. Not bad. Yep, another good one. So I'm liking this. I've obviously solved my weak right, floaty, high spin shot to the right. which incidentally probably doesn't go even as far as that very low effort thing that I've gotten squared up. So let's go full size, very smooth here. Nope. Not as good. Okay. I mean, a decent hit, but maybe more a position and angle problem than a swing problem. So let's make sure I'm set up properly. We'll do one more. Nice and balanced. There you go. Stay balanced. Should be decent. A little bit of a draw. Decent distance. Got a little more carry there. Got it out to 246. So there you go. Work on that. So again, as soon as you start feeling something in your voice, there's a moment of tension, bring it down smaller. I might be working bigger already than you need to work. If you have more tension built into your swing that you need to build this new swing underneath, you may have to stop smaller. So again, don't fix your swing, build something different. Fixing your swing is still your swing, an ingrained motor pattern that you're going to fall into and fall into and fall into. So start small and probably even smaller. And the other thing I would do with a driver, so you really want to become attuned to what a club is doing. So this is the inherent tempo of your driver. So if I take and do this, just feel that tempo. And then if I take and swing and just feel that tempo, I am now in sync with the driver. So I can just repeat that tempo. And that's going to be the most efficient version of swinging a golf club, is if you can become in sync with its inherent properties. As soon as you are fighting against the natural sort of pendulum action of the club and how gravity is working, you're spending a lot of energy that is going against nature, basically. So get yourself in sync with the fall of gravity, the natural pendulum motion of your club, and then you're going to have the capacity, you're going to create all sorts of capacity to hit it much farther, because now you don't need nearly as much effort to hit the distance you used to hit with 3 times the effort. Then you can start figuring out how to subtly build up speed within that compliant, sort of efficient type of swing.